Alright dude, this is what it looks like when you take the shell off. You know, to take the shell off you just take all the screws out. And on the back of the battery pack there is a screw behind this barcode right here. And you just literally just pop it off. I seriously try to take it off this way, pop it off. That way you can leave all the buttons and shit intact. You don't have to worry about any of that. And then you have to take the motherboard off. It's actually not that hard, I'm just kind of dyslexic with one hand here. It's just these two little, you know, the parts where the battery sits, they have a little groove to fit in right there. That's why it's kind of a difficult thing. But anywho, my camera has really shitty zoom. Like when I zoom in, it gets all blurry. So, kind of drew you a picture. It actually sits like this. Right here, you can barely see it, but there's 3 soldering points. This one, the top one, is for single fire. This is for rapid fire. This one, if you solder to it, you'll rapid fire, but your guy will spin around in circles because it fucks with your right analog stick, so don't touch it. There's a little white box. This is all just for reference. Here's that little white box right here. Now, these 2 soldering points, they're right down here at the very, very end. You can see that they're attached to a white clip. That white clip is for the rumble pack to plug into. You'll see it when you take it all apart. It's not difficult at all. But what you're basically doing is you're going to solder a wire from here to one of the posts on the momentary switch button, and then from the other post, the very right one, not the left one. The left one is another positive, so you don't want that. You ground it, or you weld it to the right one. So middle and right, middle, right. The way you can test it is you can literally just take a wire, turn on your turn on your controller when it's like this, and just touch a wire from here to here, and you'll see. It's pretty sick. But so the way that it looks is, sorry, my camera can only take so long of shots. But anyways, so you're gonna solder from here, that center pin, to one of these nodes on the momentary push button. My camera sucks, but you can kind of see that there's 2. Let's see if I can. No, it doesn't like any colors. But anyways, there's 2 pins. I've got solder on these already, and this is why, because I used it. But so you'll solder it like that on the one end, and then you will solder, obviously, from the second node there to the right one. So it would kind of look like, you know, kind of look like that when you're all done. Solder from the middle. Sorry, the thing is moving. Middle to the button, other node to the very right soldering point. And then when you're all done with the soldering crap, and you'll have this all as kind of one piece there. This is where the rumble pack sits. Kind of chills in here like this. Well, this is the one that you're going to be removing. And by removing it, there's this little pull. You just click it right off the motherboard. Right off this little white clip that you can see right there. And you're going to drill. Start with a smaller bit first, otherwise you'll eat up the plastic. So start small and then keep going bigger until it finally fits. But the trick of it is you want to drill not at a 90 degree, you want to drill at a 45, so that when you're holding your controller, it kind of ends up right there on your middle finger, like this. Because the way that it actually works is when you're holding it, when you're holding the button in, you can run around and you can still shoot, but when you see somebody that you want to kill with fully automatic, you let go of the momentary push button. It completes the circuit. That's what these do, is it breaks the circuit. So when you let go of it, it'll be fully automatic. And that's honestly all that you have to do. Alright dude, now I just want to show you a couple tricks that'll help you. When you're soldering this, honestly the easiest way to get this all started is to cut 2 3-inch strips. Strip the wire so that you have the exposed wire, An easy way to do that, honestly, is you can just, I can't put my hand down, but hold it, hold it wherever, like this. Take a lighter and heat up the plastic until it's black, and you can honestly either grab a needle nose or your fingers if you don't mind getting burnt a little bit, and you can just pull the coating right off and you'll have exposed wire. It's really easy. Otherwise, if you try stripping it, sometimes you lose some of the wire. And then what I did was I actually took my soldering iron, dipped it on the solder, and I soldered these before I did anything so that they were already coated. That way you can just hook it up to where you want it, heat it, and it'll stick. It's a lot cleaner that way. And on these, I saw a couple people where you can just shove it through the hole and twist it. Don't, because as soon as you install it, it'll twist and it'll break it off anyway. So just solder it to it. You get 4 of them in a pack, so practice. What else was I gonna tell you? Oh yeah, try to make sure that when you actually do cut this, that it will fit. Make sure that you don't try to cut it too close, because if you see it, well, you can't see, but I cut mine too close, and I had to grind a little bit off this so that it sits in there. Third of all, when you're soldering these connectors together, make sure that no solder is lying in between here and here and here. You can't have these connected anyway, and you can't have any of these connected anyway, otherwise it'll just all kinds of freak out. Sometimes it even shorts out your controller. But yeah, that's it. And then you just you just put it in, you'll just drop it on. It'll be sitting here. Just push it in, flip it over, screw it so that it's nice and tight, and then with your cover chilling here, you can kind of just drop it on and wiggle it around until she goes on, and then just tighten her up and you're good to go. Last thing that I want to tell you, if you've never soldered before. Alright, anyways, if you've never soldered before, there's two ways of soldering. We solder a lot when we do our airplanes at work, and we have basically 2 nicknames. One is called Steady Man and one is called Ready Man. For this one, you're going to want Ready Man. Steady Man is where you have the soldering gun, on the part that you want to solder, and then while you're holding it there, you put the wire on it. That's a horrible idea, because you'll hit both ends together. So just get your iron hot, tap it on top here until it starts melting on there, and then just dab it. You don't need much, and then as soon as you're done dabbing it, stop, let it cool, and it'll harden. You can do that on both, obviously. Alright, so the shit that you'll need from Best Buy: momentary push button. It's like $3. You get them in a pack of 4. Low temp melt soldering. This is like $3. 20 gauge wire. This was, I think it was like $6, but I got 3 rolls of it. And you're gonna need 1 or 2 of these little screwdrivers. Only reason I say 2 is because sometimes the top shears off when you're screwing around. And you just need your own drill to, get this hole drilled. And that's it. That's all you need.